Canada's most research-intensive university is investing in the development and well-being of the country's future, our children. Researchers are currently investigating the effects of motor coordination and physical fitness on child development here at McMaster University's Inch Lab.
So the Inch Lab, given its name, focuses on infant and childhood health. So we've had various projects that have come through with the lab, focused in on early developmental screening tools, as well as this large project called the CATCH study, which focuses on children with something called developmental coordination disorder, where kids are motorically challenged or tends to be clumsy, so they have difficulties with gross and fine motor skills. So what we're doing is following them over the course of 4 years and examining their motor proficiency, fitness, and other things like their behavioral outcomes and obesity overweight rates. What we know is that later in childhood, children with DCD are more susceptible to a lack of physical activity, being at greater risk for being obese and overweight. So this study that we're doing with CATCH is trying to capture these kids when they're 4 and 5 at that very early childhood age and determine when the differences begin to emerge. So the idea is that we can essentially identify and target interventions so that we can prevent some of these negative outcomes for these children. This is an ongoing project, and we're currently kind of in our final year of the initial cohort. So there's a lot of memorable moments with different children, having them do these different tasks, motor tasks that we have them do, as well as some of the fitness testing. So in addition to kind of getting them to go on a treadmill and getting their heart rate up to a certain level, what we also do is have them do a wind gait test. So going 30 seconds as long as they can on this pediatric cycle ergonomer. And this is always a little bit entertaining at times where kids will really be motivated and some other kids would be a little bit less motivated to do it. So it's just been interesting looking at the diversity with kids that do come through in building kind of our cohort of about 600 kids. There are no differences in physical activity and obesity and overweight status. However, what we have found is that there's already differences beginning to emerge in terms of fitness, and most interestingly, their anaerobic fitness, where we see that there are differences in terms of the power output that children with DCD are able to actually exert versus typically developing children.
The Inch Lab is one of the many examples of the groundbreaking research taking place at McMaster University. The research performed at the Inch Lab is essential to the future of childhood development.